Good morning and welcome to the show, and thanks for waking up with us today. We're waking up here at Marine Max out on Panama City Beach, and I'm here with Bob Fowler, who is their ace crack salesman here, who's going to show us around this beautiful Sea Ray.
Absolutely beautiful. You know, we got a special for you today, Don, for your watchers this morning, your audience. We're going to actually show you the two newest boats and our newest arrivals. And you know, we've talked about Marine Max being the world's largest dealer and retailer of boats. Well, we're going to talk about Sea Ray today, who is the world's largest manufacturer of recreational boats. They actually have 40 models. Can you imagine that? Yeah. Most of your manufacturers have anywhere from maybe a half a dozen to a dozen. But you're talking about a major manufacturer here, and has been on top of the heap for over 45 years. They've been around for 55.
Even people like me who know very little about boats, that is a recognizable name. When you hear Sea Ray, you think quality, you think a long, long track record of quality and satisfied customers throughout the years.
Well, we just got this boat in last week.
Now, what is this model called?
As you can see, it's a 270 sun deck, and there's a lot of special features about it, and we'll talk about that when we get on the boat. But one of them is a patented noise reduction feature on the transom, so it makes it very, very quiet. And the ride, of course, the dryness, the smoothness of a Sea Ray hull is impeccable. But this is the 270 sun deck, and a brand new color. It's called Sunset Red. It's absolutely gorgeous.
Oh,
so
beautiful.
Once
Maybe
you see inside of the boat, you're going to be very impressed.
Let's go take a look at that.
All right.
Bob, this is probably the most luxurious boat I've ever been on.
Isn't this beautiful?
It really is.
This is a new color scheme of the upholstery. And as you can see in this boat, you've got tons of room. I mean, look at the seating capacity of this 270. You're talking about an entertaining boat, and a boat you can take your family and friends out on, and just very, very comfortable. As you mentioned a while ago, look at all of the cup holders
and the seating.
The amenities.
Well, I like about the seating is you can face forward while you're going, or when you're at anchor.
Now you have a lounger.
And, you can
look at this on the cockpit on the helm. It goes forward as well.
So you got a nice little conversation pit.
When you anchor out, now you can turn around and have a lounger on both sides.
What's so impressive, and it may not show up that well on TV, is the fit and finish of this boat. It just has the feel of like a luxury automobile.
It's very luxurious. You know? Exactly right. And Sea Ray, they just get better and better and better. And they have won more awards than all the other dealers combined through the years. And from a 19-foot all the way up to their luxury class 650L, Sea Ray, it's just hard to beat.
I can see why.
Yeah.
Now
right behind you, look at this.
I'll get out of the
You've
way.
got, the lady's going to love this. You have a full head.
Look at that.
And it's very large. And you have a sink with a pull-out sprayer. You could actually take a shower down there if you wanted to.
Wow.
So, you know, you've got all the amenities for the family, for the kids, for the wives, and of course an extremely high performance boat. You know, there's not a smoother hull, drier hull than a Sea Ray.
Bob, how about this cockpit here? What's going on here? What goes here?
Well, the helm area, you of course got all your controls for your boat, including your gauges for your motor. This has a Mercruiser 350 mag in it, and this is a chart plotter GPS. So, you know, you've got that already installed, and of course as you go forward, now we've got the sport tower up here, and as you see back here, you've got the bimini top that actually comes up and comes right to here, brackets here, so you have this entire area covered.
So you can keep the sun off you?
That's correct. Up here, as you see, now I didn't take the cushions out because I wanted to show that this has the bow filler cushion option as well. So the ladies can lay out, or the kids can lay out up here. That center part comes out, the platform comes out, and then you have, of course, an area that you can sit around.
But in the meantime, you know, you can put all that out and just lounge in the sun.
Exactly right. And also up here, I don't know if you can see with the camera or not, but there's a nice storage area down here. And then you have your controls for your stereo, your inputs to your stereo as well. And then you have a bow closing door that if you got a lot of wind, if it's cool out during the day, you can close the windshield, close this door, and you're very comfortable back here.
I see. So that closes, it kind of cuts the boat in half.
Exactly right. And you, of course, got a cover, a bow cover and a cockpit cover that covers the entire boat.
Bob, how can we get in touch with you if we want to take a look at this boat?
Call me Marine Max right here at 708-1317. And we'd just love to hear from anybody and show this boat.
And ask for Bob. And we'll be right back after your local weather, brought to you by the West Pittman Law Firm. westpittmanlawfirm.com. Welcome back to the show. I'm here with Dr. Tara Griffin at Emerald Coast Dental Sleep Medicine. And where are we? What's this little room about?
We are in our lab where we make appliances.
Okay, I can see some of those things. Now, what you do is you make these appliances to help people who have apnea to sleep better, breathe better, be healthier, get more oxygen and all that. But there are alternates to those type of appliances, which is the time-honored CPAP machine,
Yes.
which is oh so fashionable. But it does work, I guess.
It does. It does work,
Yeah.
and it's extremely effective, actually. However, many people cannot tolerate using one of those at night. So the appliances, things that we do, actually are the #1 alternative solution to helping to control snoring and sleep apnea. So you don't have to wear one of those those CPAP machines if you can't tolerate it.
Yeah, and I can see it's a big clunky thing. I mean, and not to knock it, I guess it has a value to, instantly you can put this on and it'll relieve your
Absolutely,
issue.
it does. And they're different models. They're not all like that. They streamline them now. They try to make them more comfortable for you. But regardless of what has been done in those attempts, many people still cannot tolerate them. So we don't want them to go untreated. We want to treat these conditions because they lead to severe health problems: cardiovascular disease, stroke, diabetes, you name it, cancer. A lot of things are related to this. So it's very important to control the condition that's going on with an alternative option if they can't use that. And recently, in the last few years, the guidelines have actually changed, and that used to be the only option initially that patients would have to start with. However, now, if patients have mild to moderate sleep apnea, they do not have to start with a CPAP machine. They can start with an appliance first, and maybe forgo that, and never have to use it. So it's a case-by-case basis, but many doctors don't even know that that's a first line of treatment today. So.
Oh, geez, because you would think that, initially you would get this thing, and then over time you would see if you're a good candidate for like this thing, but you can skip this thing right away and go right to this.
In some cases you can, absolutely. If you're more severe and have a complex medical history, COPD, some other things that go along with this sometimes, then you may need to start with a CPAP machine, and you may not be a candidate for this. However, many people actually are, and they don't even know it.
And there are other clinical uses for a CPAP, for things other than perhaps sleep apnea.
Yeah, that's the primary reason that it's used, but definitely, helping with the breathing, again, in complex situations where they have pulmonary problems, that certainly can be beneficial.
So how do you know if you're a good candidate for one of these appliances?
Well, most people are a good candidate, actually. You need to have healthy teeth, healthy gums. Those are things that we evaluate when we see you for a consultation. And we have appliances now where if you don't have teeth, we actually can work with a lot of people in that situation too to make something for them. So almost everyone is a candidate for the most part. Some people might need a little bit of treatment before they start this. However, we've been able to do it for almost everyone that was a candidate and ready to get started.
Sleeplessness is often described as an epidemic in this country, and one of the underlying causes for that, besides the grind of living day to day, is sleep apnea. How widespread is sleep apnea?
It's extremely widespread. It's estimated that 1 in 5 adults have sleep apnea. However, from what we see, it's probably higher than that. 90% of those people have not been diagnosed yet and are not being treated. So again, as I was talking about the medical conditions that it's related to, it's very important to treat. A lot of people will present with this sleepiness, like you say, not sleeping well, and they'll blame it on their work and their life and everything else, when actually it could be something else that could be treatable.
What are the symptoms of sleep apnea? How do you know if you have it,
Oh,
besides just being tired?
Yeah, tired is a big one. Snoring is a big one. GERD, gastric reflux, clenching, grinding your teeth.
GERD, really?
Yeah, absolutely. It's very common with sleep apnea, the reflux, So there are a lot of different symptoms. TMJ problems, pain with that, head and neck, migraines, a lot of different things can be symptoms of this.
So if you suspect you have that symptom, and you're tired, see your doc, right?
Yeah, absolutely. See your doc or give us a call, because we can see you for an evaluation whether you have a diagnosis or not. We can refer you to the right place to get diagnosed, and we can help with the treatment. So you can call us too. It's either way, we're here to help.
Dr. Tara Griffin from Emerald Coast Dental Sleep Medicine, thanks so much for getting us a little look behind the scenes here in the Skunk Works.
Thank you.
And we'll be right back.
Hi, this is David Lovett, and this is your Mad Hatter Minute. There are millions of cars on the roads in the United States today, and each one is a source of air pollution. In 1975, with the implementation of the Clean Air Act, essentially what the Clean Air Act did for the automotive industries is make catalytic converters an actual requirement for all vehicles. The job of the catalytic converter is to take the harmful pollutants and change them into harmless emissions, which expel through the exhaust tailpipe. On modern vehicles, there are two sensors located on the exhaust system, one before the catalytic converter and one after the catalytic converter. These sensors read the oxygen that are going through the exhaust system and the amount of unburned oxygen that is there. As a result, signals are sent back to the electronic control unit of the vehicle, which will tell the vehicle to run either richer or leaner, to add fuel or subtract fuel, thereby maintaining performance and engine emissions. When the catalytic converter fails, it's not unusual to have the smell of rotten eggs. What this is the actual catalyst inside the catalytic converter is burning up and cracking and falling apart, or is physically melting inside the shell of the catalytic converter. Either way, the catalytic converter needs to be replaced or it's going to clog the vehicle's exhaust system. Replacing the catalytic converter by itself is not the only thing that needs to be done. A failed catalytic converter is a symptom and not the cause of the problem. Either the vehicle is running too rich or the vehicle is running too lean. You have to identify the source and do that repair as well. If not, you'll be replacing the catalytic converter again very soon. I'm David Lovett, and that has been your Mad Hatter Minute.
Hey folks, this is Joshua Brown with Mad Hatter on 23rd Street. Is your check engine light on? If it is, text MADHAT28, that's MADHAT28, to 24247 and we'll check it for free.
Welcome back to the show. I'm here with Dr. Stephen Favaloro from Forest Park Animal Hospital. We're going to give you your pet health tip of the week. Welcome back to the show, Doc.
Good to see you, sir.
Yeah, hey, we were talking earlier about things you can catch from your pet.
Absolutely.
And there's a technical name for that?
It's called zoonosis.
Zoonosis. That's an easy one to remember.
Or it's a zoonotic disease. Basically, it's a disease that crosses species. You can go from cat to dog, cat to person. Not too many things will go from person to dog or person to cat. But
so
usually
can your dog catch your cold if you have a cold or a flu?
They say it's not supposed to, but way too many times I've seen family member get sick, animal get sick, and vice versa. But one of the more common things we see with zoonotic diseases is ringworm. A lot of people think ringworm's actually a worm. But it's actually a fungus. And in people, it looks like a circular red lesion. But in pets, it just looks like hair loss. And the two most common species that spread it are actually cats and horses.
Horses?
But,
that's surprising.
But cats can spread it to dogs. They can spread it to people. Some people can be resistant to it, but most of the time, if you have a cat that has it, and you've got more than one person in the household, you'll see it. The one bad thing about ringworm too is that the spores can live on the hair, and they can live up to a year in your environment. So you could have like a cat that's shedding or whatnot before you treat it, and you could have a hair in the corner of the room that never gets vacuumed up that everybody gets treated, and then 5 months later everybody's got it again.
And you can still get infected from that hair.
Yeah.
Wow.
So hookworms and roundworms are
just
real
another
common.
reason not to like cats in my book. I know you're an animal lover, but I'm kind of a dog guy.
Yeah.
Really. And,
but hookworms, roundworms, those are intestinal parasites that we commonly see in dogs and cats, and they can be transmitted to people. I mean, you have to come in contact with them and their stool, but it's easier than you think when the dog went outside and it's shedding parasites and it rains before you get to pick it up, because everybody picks it up.
Oh, of course they do.
And then you walk out there without your shoes on, and attaches to your skin, and the hookworms can cause like these migrating tracts through your feet that are real itchy. But roundworms could actually be much more dangerous in kids. And dogs will go outside, use the bathroom, they'll step in something, they'll be chewing on their toy, they'll be cleaning themselves, you get something on the toy.
Does it
kid
actually
picks up
have
the
to be
toy.
ingested
It
for
has
you
to
to
be
get
ingested.
it? Okay. And can it be the actual worm or the eggs?
Well, it has to be the egg, and the egg's going to be transmitted through feces, so you can imagine what happens next. So anyway, that can migrate to the brain or the lungs or even the eyes in kids, and that can cause some serious problems. So, we always want to keep real sanitary and pick up our dog's waste.
Yeah, especially with little kids, because they're hand to mouth, eye all the time.
Absolutely.
Little kids just don't know.
One for just like wow factor, the plague, has actually kind of showed itself up in a couple of regions. Like Colorado, a veterinarian just got treated for the plague. He was treating a cat that was sick, and the flea is actually one of the flea species is one of the ones that transmit it, and they like rodents, which is how it's usually transmitted. And so cats hunt rodents. So this cat got a rodent that had the plague, and then the cat gave it to the veterinarian. It's treated with antibiotics and whatnot, but he had to be hospitalized and whatnot.
That's amazing that the bubonic plague is still out there today.
Absolutely.
In some animals running around out
it's
there.
Bacteria. And then so there's one called leptospirosis, which can cause liver and kidney disease, and usually it's transmitted through urine of like a rat, rodent, whatnot. So if you're like swimming in a lake or a pond, or you have a lot of like rodents in your backyard, mud puddles, things like that, you can get it that way. Most of the time it has to be transmitted through broken skin or mucous membranes. So if you just do normal sanitary things, keep your hands clean, maybe wear gloves, keep your hands out of your mouth, that kind of thing.
Oh, jeez.
Rabies is always a big one. Rabies transmitted.
I guess you can catch rabies.
And that can be transmitted from any species, any warm-blooded species. So, and rabies is usually transmitted through saliva, and I mean it could be even like saliva from a dog bowl that you go to clean or something like that.
Oh, really?
And
do you have to have like an open wound or something to catch it? Does it
usually
have to
it has to be
the skin?
it usually has to be through broken skin or mucous membrane.
You hear a lot about wild animals too, like maybe a raccoon or a possum who's acting strangely out during the day,
absolutely
chasing people.
And there's there's reports of rabies in Bay County, every year. So we see that. And it could be like there was a case in 1995 where some kittens had gotten rabies, and one of the kittens was adopted, and before they were able to diagnose that kitten with rabies, it had come across 100 people, at a daycare. So usually if you get rabies, it's fatal.
If it goes untreated.
Even if it goes treated, because once you start to show signs of it, usually you're dead within about 10 days, 7 days.
So I guess the tip of the week is get your pets vaccinated, know where they are, keep them healthy, and just good hygiene.
Good hygiene, absolutely.
That's the key. Dr. Stephen Favaloro from Forest Park Animal Hospital, thanks for scaring us.
Thank you very much. My pleasure.
We'll be right back. Welcome back to the show. I'm here with Marty Howell, and what's your friend's name?
This is Faith.
And Faith from Bay County Animal Services. Now, Faith was a stray, wasn't she?
Faith was a stray. She actually had a litter of puppies. And she was busy taking care of them. So, they're all kind of, done now. And now we're actually, trying to get Faith adopted.
Oh, okay. And how old a dog is Faith?
Faith, based on her teeth, best we can determine she's about 3 years old. She's a hound mix. Real lovable dog. Attaches real quick to people.
Yeah.
You're real easy going.
She seems like a sweet dog.
She'd be a great family dog.
Hey, puppy. Yeah. So, so Faith is a healthy dog.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yep. She's got all her shots.
She's been spayed.
She's been spayed. She's been heartworm tested. She's heartworm negative, so that's what you want. So, for her, it's a simple $25 adoption fee. And you can take Faith that day, and there's nothing else to do other than love her and feed her.
And she looks like a lovable little dog too.
Absolutely. So she's great around kids. She's great with adults. Loves people. Just kind of likes to cuddle.
Yeah, she seems like a real. Look how lovable this dog is. Good grief. I think she thinks she's a cat. She wants to climb in your lap or something. Who knows?
Yeah, but she just loves any attention that you give her, and again, when you stop giving her attention, she'll just kind of lay down next to you and just kind of do her own thing.
Okay, so if someone wants to adopt Faith, what do we need to do?
Well, you just give us a call. Our number is 767-3333, and we're at 6401 Bayline Drive, right off of Highway 231. and you can come see Faith, and if you want, take her for a walk and see if she's a good match for you and your family.
Yeah. Now, if Faith isn't a good match for you, you can hook a family up with another dog, perhaps.
Absolutely,
right?
and we've probably
You've got a few of them out there, I'm
We've
sure.
probably got 80+ dogs, so
Uh-huh.
if Faith isn't the perfect one, we can probably find one that's a good match for you.
Yeah, what a beautiful dog this is, and what a friendly dog too.
Yeah.
And she's already had her little litter of puppies.
Right.
And she still seems to have that little motherly instinct about her.
Oh,
Which
yeah.
she just loves, having that contact, that
Right.
human contact,
Yep.
and being around other living things. And she just seems like a sweet dog. Well, Faith, I hope Faith finds a great home, and thank you for everything that you do out there.
Well, thanks for having us and help us find them homes.
Yeah. Let's keep this thing going if we can. So to adopt Faith, we have to call
767-3333, or you can come to visit us at 6401 Bayline Drive.
767-3333. Give Faith a home.